Yeah, they're both on a retrieval mission, really. Zarkandar's been a little bit disappointing this season so far, apart from his first run. He's had his palate cauterised since his last run, and old Ptit just not jumped fences at all, so he needs to show something again.
Stay with us, Paul. Good luck to you. Flags up. Stuart Machin.
To Betfred Rendlesham Hurdle, and Agrapart indeed is keen on the lengthy run round to the first of 12 flights, and he's got Antiros for company as well around the outer. And these two pressing on around the first turn. It's quite a sweeping turn to the far side, and they bound on by 3 or 4 lengths ahead of the grey Ptit, and then Zarkandar, the red jacket, racing alongside his stablemate, and the dual course winner, the 11-year-old Desert Cry, sporting the sheepskin noseband, dropped out under Will Kennedy. Slight descent to the first. Agrapart and Antiros draw to it together. Agrapart on the near side, rather outjumped by Antiros, who was a little swifter through the air. And then Ptit, Zarkandar and Desert Cry on to the middle flight across in the back straight first time. So Antiros, Tom Scudamore, much better lead there by Agrapart, who was bold. Lizzie Kelly hoping for better fortune than she endured in the first race when she was unseated just past the halfway point. She's got Agrapart at the quarters of Antiros. They draw to the third. Zarkandar tracking the leading pair, and then Ptit and Desert Cry. And Ptit wasn't quite as slick through the air there as his stablemate Zarkandar, as Antiros leads them on the turn out of the back straight the first time, and they've moved now towards the end of 3/4 of a mile or more. Antiros and Tom Scudamore for the Sophie Leach team, leading Agrapart, who switched to the outer and is circling around Antiros. Zarkandar the shadow to Ptit, and Desert Cry in the hands of Will Kennedy at the back of the field. Kennedy enjoying his best ever season. He reached a half-century of winners for it with a double at Catterick earlier in the week. Entering the last 2 miles now, and Agrapart back up sides Antiros as they draw to the fourth. Antiros on the far side, half-lengthing Agrapart. Again, Zarkandar more fluent than Ptit, the latter on his return to hurdling. And finally Desert Cry against that far side running rail. Here's the fifth. Antiros, his cheek-pieced head, just in advance of Agrapart. Got him tight to that. Zarkandar tracks them, slipstreaming Agrapart. Then Ptit and Desert Cry. Drawing to the sixth, brings them to halfway. And Agrapart put down on that one. Just came up sides Antiros, but didn't really lift a leg for Lizzie Kelly. Zarkandar seems to be enjoying himself in third, and Harry Cobden, tracked by Ptit and Sam Twiston-Davis, and a couple of lengths to a Desert Cry. So they embark upon a further circuit of the Haydock Hurdles track. Antiros and Agrapart, who's been a little bit guessy at the last couple of flights. The leading two round the paddock bend together. Zarkandar and Ptit right in behind them, and then Desert Cry. So off to the first of the 3 flights in the back straight once more. And Agrapart's now given his head by Lizzie Kelly, and for the present at least seems to have seen off the attentions of Antiros, and this has been a fairly sharply run affair from the outset. It'll be a good test in the conditions, and Agrapart encountering the longest distance that he's raced over so far here, but ridden positively by Kelly. How does he handle this flight? Well, he was much better there, Agrapart. Ptit was in tight to it. Zarkandar red jacket, meanwhile, has joined Antiros, and Desert Cry is in touch. So they're heading on now towards the last mile of the race and approaching the 8th. Agrapart. Again, he was good there. Zarkandar, though, is at his quarters. Then Antiros. Ptit the grey, and Desert Cry on the near side. And Antiros seems to have run his race. He's dropped back to be last, and now 3 sit right on the tail of Agrapart. So they go to the last on the far side. 4 out. Agrapart and Lizzie Kelly to Zarkandar and Harry Cobden. Desert Cry on the near side under Will Kennedy, jumping fluently there. Less so of Ptit in 4th place. He's only a couple of lengths off the lead under Sam Twiston-Davis, and Antiros struggling last of the 5. So into this turn, entering now the last 3/4 of a mile, Agrapart with Zarkandar, his 3-time Grade 1 winner, former Triumph Hurdle winner 6 years ago, right at the leader's quarters. Desert Cry in pursuit of a 3rd course win, the 11-year-old. Close up on the inside of Ptit. The latter is just having to be niggled into the bridle by Sam Twiston-Davis as Agrapart turns his head for home, as Zarkandar, though, applying the pressure. Desert Cry and Ptit snapping at their heels. They've still got the thick end of half a mile to travel. Agrapart is asked for a little more in front from Kelly. Responds. Fluent there. Less so again, Ptit, but a good leap in second by Zarkandar. And now Kelly draws the whip, administers a reminder or two to Agrapart. And Zarkandar's looking threatening. Desert Cry still in the action on the far side. Ptit switches. Agrapart untidy there. Zarkandar came upsides. Desert Cry's making a line of three. Ptit with 2 lengths to make up. Zarkandar on the run down towards the final flight from Agrapart. Desert Cry and Ptit. Here's the last. Zarkandar kicked it flat, knocked it to the ground, but he came away from it too clear. Agrapart now boxing on at the one pace from Desert Cry. Ptit is rallying under pressure, but with a half furlong to go. Zarkandar is 4 lengths ahead of his stablemate Ptit and Agrapart and Zarkandar. It's been a long time between drinks, but he's back in the winner's enclosure, and this Grade 1 winner takes the Rendlesham for Paul Nicholls. Ptit finished upsides. Agrapart. Desert Cry was in 4th, and then Antiros.
What a performance from the old boy Zarkandar. A 1-2 for a certain Mr. Nicholls. 120 on the season. Quite appropriate. You were alongside us. You rather enjoyed that, didn't you?